Yeah! They got the video out tonight.
Let's go!
The video is out tonight.
Hey, every time.
That really means I'm following. I know you're following.
The silence around ClaressaShields wasn't accidental. It felt intentional, measured, and that's exactly why it unsettled people. When she finally spoke about her personal life, it didn't come with a grin, a rollout, or a picture-perfect reveal. It came with a pause so heavy it suggested something had cracked before it could ever fully mend. For years, Claressa has been framed as untouchable, a fighter who doesn't bend, a woman who turns pressure into purpose. But this moment didn't come from the ring. It came straight from the heart, and it landed quietly but forcefully. After reports of an alleged split from Papoose began circulating, many expected anger, denial, or a sharp response online. Yet instead, she chose something far more unexpected, confirming she was in a new relationship without offering a name, a backstory, or an explanation. Just one carefully chosen line saying she was finally happy and in a good place, calm and controlled, almost distant. That's when the conversation shifted. Because happiness rarely sounds that heavy, and peace doesn't usually arrive wrapped in secrecy. Almost instantly, speculation filled the gaps, with theories, screenshots, and anonymous claims painting a picture of a man who was wealthy, influential, and far removed from public scrutiny. Someone who could offer protection or possibly influence the narrative itself. Others questioned the timing, suggesting healing doesn't happen overnight and that silence can sometimes mask unresolved pain. Through it all, Claressa stayed still. She didn't confirm the rumors or shut them down. She simply asked for privacy. And that request spoke volumes. When someone known for standing fearless in the spotlight suddenly chooses to step back, it signals a shift. Something changed, something hurt, and something may still be healing out of view. The mystery continues to grow, with no proof, no confirmation, and no name willing to surface. ClaressaShields has faced defeat, pressure, and public SCR.
Hey, Claressa, you're one of the most beautiful queens I've met in my life. Here's a like in real life. It's a like in real life. What's your sign? Pisces with the same sign. I'm gonna walk away because I don't want to get beat up or, you know what I'm saying, a book thrown at me. You know what I'm saying? I don't want no problems, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna walk up this way, you know what I'm saying?
Y'all, what happened next wasn't supposed to unfold like this. Quiet, restrained, and without a name attached, but that's exactly what made it shake people. For years, ClaressaShields has lived in public combat mode. Every win broadcast, every loss dissected, every expression slowed down and analyzed, building a reputation as unbreakable, as someone who absorbs impact for a living and never asks for grace. Yet this time the hit didn't come from an opponent. It came from a sentence she delivered herself, softly, without build-up, without spectacle, without the usual signals people expect when a public figure shares something personal. No glossy photo, no engineered caption, no celebratory rollout, just a confirmation that landed like a verdict. She's in a new relationship. The way she said it changed the temperature instantly because there was no overflow of joy, no victory energy, no glow-up theatrics, just a measured, careful tone that sounded like someone who already knows what happens when the world gets too close. That's when people realized this wasn't a celebration, it was a boundary, especially when she followed the confirmation with something even louder than the news itself. She refused to say who the man was. No name, no hints, no trail to follow. In an era where romance is often teased for engagement, that kind of silence felt intentional, defensive, almost strategic, and once that door closed, speculation rushed in to fill the space. Social media didn't ask questions gently, it demanded answers, reconstructing timelines, revisiting old moments, attaching meaning to pauses and expressions, trying to solve a mystery that had never been offered for consumption. Some narratives painted the relationship as a refuge, others framed it as too soon, too guarded. Too quiet, while still others focused less on the romance and more on the shift in Claressa herself, noticing the absence of fire where confidence used to blaze, the way her smile didn't linger, the way happiness was described like something fragile instead of triumphant. Through it all, she didn't escalate, didn't clap back, didn't attempt to correct every assumption. She simply asked for privacy, and that request seemed to unsettle people more than any rumor ever could. Because when someone known for standing fearless in the spotlight suddenly steps back, the world assumes damage, assumes secrecy means strategy, assumes silence must be hiding something. As the noise grew louder, the story stopped being about who she was with and became about what had changed her, why she was moving carefully, why she spoke like someone protecting something still tender. Observers compared this moment to past chapters, noting how different it felt when love was once shared openly and now existed behind a wall. And in celebrity culture, walls are rarely interpreted as peace, they're interpreted as control. The more she withdrew, the more invasive the curiosity became, turning her restraint into a puzzle people felt entitled to solve, even though nothing concrete was offered. What made this moment heavier wasn't gossip itself, but the entitlement beneath it, the idea that a woman who has given her strength, her scars, and her resilience to the public somehow owes access to her healing too. Claressa didn't ask for validation, sympathy, or applause. She asked to be left alone, and that request was treated like provocation. Every unanswered question fed another theory. Every quiet moment stretched the narrative further from reality, until the conversation wasn't about truth at all but appetite. People wanted a reveal, a face, a clear ending, anything to replace ambiguity, because ambiguity makes audiences uncomfortable. Yet, ambiguity was exactly what she offered, choosing distance over performance, control over confession, and in doing so, she disrupted a system that thrives on exposure. This wasn't about romance anymore. It was about boundaries, about a public figure refusing to bleed on command, about a woman deciding that not every chapter needs an audience. ClaressaShields has fought her entire life to be recognized for her strength, and now she's being scrutinized for her restraint, a trait often mistaken for secrecy in a culture addicted to access. The silence people are dissecting doesn't look like weakness, it looks like armor, and armor is usually worn after you've learned where the damage comes from. The story may never resolve neatly, the relationship may never be defined publicly, and that unresolved tension is precisely why it lingers, because the most compelling narratives aren't fueled by answers, they're fueled by what's withheld. In the end, this isn't a mystery about a man. It's a reflection of what happens when admiration turns into entitlement, when support becomes surveillance, and when a woman reclaiming her narrative is treated like an unsolved case. Claressa didn't lose control of her story. She took it back, and what looks like secrecy from the outside feels like survival to the person living it. The silence isn't emptiness, it's resistance, and resistance always makes noise, even when the person at the center refuses to speak.